This will help stem that tide, and it sends a strong message to every other state in this nation to follow suit, to stem the tide of rising anti-Semitism. Let's oppose bigotry today. I ask you all to support this bill. Thank you. I'm pleased to report, Mr. Williams, that South Carolina seems to be behind the curve on the rising tide of anti-Semitism on campus, which I'm very grateful for.
Did you know also, and I'm a co-sponsor as well, but what I have seen up here from time to time is legislation that we create, legislation that we pass sometimes has unintended consequences. And so all I want to make sure of right now is that we are not going to ultimately pass something that has those unintended consequences. So again, even though I think I understand your position and I understand your answer, I just want to make sure that it's very clear no one is going to be able to be charged under this legislation. Is that correct?
With anti-Semitism.
With anti-Semitism.
Or bigoted speech is protected under the Constitution. It doesn't change that. What happens is, if there is a breach of the law or of campus policy, the administrators on campus will then have this uniform definition to look back to apply the facts to, and to determine what the intent was that led to those acts.
The issues I have with this approach is, first of all, this bill does not state in the bill itself what that definition of anti-Semitism would be. It refers to a document that is published by the federal government.
What the intent is of maybe some criminal activity that's happening on campus does not infringe on any First Amendment rights. It does not affect the curriculum of what a professor wants to teach in class. This is aimed at combating all of the anti-Semitic incidences that we are seeing across the nation at an alarming rate. It really is an alarming rate. And specifically when we're dealing with college campuses. And we will be, if this passes the Senate, we will be the first state that will pass such legislation. Now, there are several other states that are pursuing this legislation, but we will be the first state. I know the Jewish Community Center here in Columbia, when the first incidents of some bomb threats and phone calls were made, our center here was one that was affected by that. And as we see nationwide, I mean, honestly, I just because we don't see the violent acts here in South Carolina doesn't mean that it's not happening.